Last planner in construction, add worker huddles. Upgrade your production planning. I'm excited about this video because this is one of the fixes to the last planner system that will change everything. Let me tell you, multiple billion-dollar projects, multiple hundreds of million-dollar projects, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, renovation, multifamily, townhomes, data centers, hospitals, schools, all of it. I have never seen operational excellence at scale without the morning worker huddle. Now, when you look at the last planner system, it's pretty great, but it is in its 1.0, and we need to take it to 2.0, 3.0. I am not the inventor of the last planner system, but I am a builder and have my own opinion, and these opinions are solely mine about how to take it to the next level. And if it's a lean system, we will improve it. And I'm very disappointed that it's not farther along than it is. If it's a lean system, it should be upgraded by now. The last planner system basically says that if you have planners, that it should come to the last planners, which are the foremen, to execute work in the field. So I'm just going to write field. That's not complete. We need first planners and a first planner system in collaboration with last planners, and we need to get that all the way to workers, and that is what is meant by getting it all the way to the field. What I've seen, and you've seen as well, is that you are in your conference room. Let me just draw it like this. And you are talking to the trades, you're around your horseshoe, and these are your trade foremen. Whatever you're coordinating and talking about in here, only about 20 to 40% of that actually reaches the people who are actually doing the work, the workers. Now there's a story from Toyota by Toyota, it's a really great story, where a lean practitioner in Toyota was asked by a sensei, who is the king? Now I know that terminology doesn't really land with us here in the United States, but the point remains. And she was like, is it the general manager? Who is it? And then she thought, oh, it's the operator on the line. And then she told her sensei, and he was like, yes, but let me tell you more. The operator is the king, and everybody supports the king. Our workers and foremen are the value add entities on a project site. And if they are not getting the information, if they can't see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group, if they don't have full kit, if they don't know what's going on, I always say it's like swimming across a mile-wide channel and drowning 5 feet from shore. How would you like to swim that far just to drown? You're almost there. So the last planner system in its original conception is misguided in this sense, that the information should only make it to the foreman and that human beings naturally and genetically will get the information to workers. That's not reasonable to understand or to assume. Richard Dawkins said, and I love his books about evolution, if humanity is to altruistically elevate and take its next step, you cannot count on genetics for help. Our genes are designed to reproduce and self-perpetuate. Selfishness, greed, isolation, hoarding resources. If we want to do the right thing and be enlightened, we have to override our genetic programming. And our brains are wired to auto-filter information and to uncommunicate and to conserve calories. And so to assume that foremen, even though they're awesome humans and they're good people, that genetically in their gene housing, that they will naturally communicate what we want is not realistic. And so we have got to make sure that we have systems, not only where the project is planned with the right systems in the first planner system, but we've got to get it all the way to the workers. So when we're in the office, we also have got to get that information out to a field board every day, to the workers every day. Now let me tell you, I'm not a consultant, I'm not dissing on consultants, I am a career field super that's now trying to help the industry. And I have noticed that if you do not do this worker huddle, you still have foremen filtering for you, which means they create the culture separately, not you. And they're good people, but they are contractually incentivized to take care of their own interests. So instead of you as the superintendent controlling the environment and the rhythm, they control it and they're doing what they want. And they're all going in separate directions. This is not a lecture, I love you. When you create that worker huddle, you bypass this 20 to 40% and you communicate to the crews. Let me just be real candid with you. If a behavior is happening, I have in morning worker huddles before said, hey everybody, you are all contracted to be able to spend 15 to 25 minutes in your crew preparation huddles going through and 5S'ing your areas, identifying 8 wastes, filling out your pre-task plans, getting ready, shaking out materials, and starting in clean, safe, and organized. And if your foreman's not letting you do that, you're not obeying the contract. And if you're not obeying your foreman, you are not in total participation. There is no question about what they should be doing. There is no filtering from the foreman whether they want or don't want to do something. I, as the superintendent, have control of the environment, and I have control of the rhythm, and I do not control people. I am setting up the job site for success, and we are working in total participation. Now, here's what happens. If you love these workers, and you should, they will see it. They will hear your shout outs. They will hear you asking for feedback. They will learn lean thinking 2 minutes every day. They will hear the plan and be better aware. You will have stable environments, and you will have the second most important concept in lean, after respect for people and stability, is total participation. We think that lean will work outside of that. It won't. Paul Akers, total participation. You go to Japan, 130 million people are working and acting the same way. They are a highly coordinated society. And here in the United States, we act like we're cowboys and cowgirls in the Wild Wild West. You can't do that. We have to row together in total participation. When you implement this, your job site will get cleaner, safer, more organized, everybody working in the same direction. This is the missing piece of getting the last planner system all the way to the people changing the product and putting the work in place. This is why you must have a worker huddle. This is described in the book Tact, Steering, and Control. We will turn this into a blog post, and if you need help, let me know in the chat. Love you. On we go.